guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp the Limp, and I'm here with bittersweet. Definitely a bittersweet video for me to be making. This was going to be the last one on enemy action Kharkov, at least for a while. I've got a handful of others I've got to get to the table, so I can only keep this one on the table for so long, and that sucks. That really is unfortunate. But I wanted to play through at least a chunk of it and let you guys see it, how it plays, all the goodness of it, the enemy action of it. And I'll definitely tell you right up front, this is one that if I didn't have a channel, if I didn't have other games that had to take some of my time, it would stay here for a while. I'd play through it once, set it back up, and then just play through it again. And the best part is you can play through this one in so many different ways. You can play it solitaire in one direction, you can play solitaire in the other direction. And even if I just left the Soviet version of it up and just play through it straight again, it would be different. It would not play through the same way, because not only would I give different orders, but the Germans would give different orders. Everything would happen a different way. I mean, yes, the same general gist. There would be a battle around Kharkov, but the way that battle played out, whether or not I did well, the Germans did well, if I pushed this way, that way, the multitude of different things would play out differently because of the way the orders in this game work. Anyway, let's go ahead and play just a little bit more of it, because I did want to finish out with this battle that I had set up here. Now, key thing about it, though, is I got to make a little bit of an adjustment, because I had made a little bit of a mistake. And that's because I did have enemy action Ardennes in my head a little bit, and I was goofing up as far as the cards went, because I had missed this one very specific sentence in the rulebook. 45-page rulebook, and you miss one sentence, it changes the whole thing. Big deal about it was, though, is that you do have to draw back up to your hand of cards, right? So after I have an impulse and do my thing, the Germans respond to my thing, I draw back up to 5 cards. I had missed that part, right? So I was playing it on the pretense that I'd play my 5 cards, the Germans be responding, then I'd play some more cards and blah, 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 until I ran out of my draw pile. But I was kind of trying to handle it. Very long story short, go watch the Ardennes videos to kind of get it. I was playing it a little bit more like that than Karkov, which has the card play being a little bit different, but I do get to have more cards in my hand. So that definitely changes up how we're going to do this little battle here. So I went ahead and drew up to 5 cards, and we're not going to need that one, but we're going to play everything else, because we're going out swinging. So what did I draw extra? Okay. Yeah. I had an idea, because I was looking at this off camera, right? Figuring out exactly how I'm going to do this, because we're going to play this to activate all the yellow guys, all the pop-offs, and then we're going to play these 3 to add tactics, because I'm adding everything into it. Not to mention I've got the tactic, the artillery tactic built in, and we're doing all this to attack the Rus. The Ruska guys are right over here. We're going to get rid of these douchebags. So we're gonna play a bunch of tactics. And that's going to put them out of supply, because we are getting... What are we getting? We're getting air power. We're getting reinforcing a battle. We're getting... blah, 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 blah. What are we getting? I knew I was putting this tactic in here for something. Now I can't remember what it was. What was I adding to it? Something. I have to look and remember which tactic I'm adding. We're adding a whole bunch of tactics to it, but we're basically making it to where these guys are getting the monkey snot pounded out of them, because we're going to have multiple going there. All right, so I think he was going here. He was going there, because that's 3. That'd be 5-1. And then these 3, yep, 5-1. So it gets a 5-1 attack on each hex. Right, ding, ding, you go in there, ding, ding, you go in there. These guys going over here, because those guys are dispersed, and they do not exert a zone of control. That's what I'm talking about. But they're attacking there. These 2 are attacking there, and these 3 are attacking here. And by him being there, he's exerting this zone of control all the way around here, which just effectively screws them, so they're dead. no matter what. And yeah, them being dispersed and pushed back. No zone of control, so I can pull around. And that's the reinforced battle. So that's the reinforced battle. That's the activation. We're adding air power. We've already got artillery. And I added something with that because that's any tactic. I have to look to see what tactic I added. I think it was this. I think it was Soviet Combat Tactics Rifle Brigade. Add 2 to the Soviet combat strength if attacking, 1 if defending. But the big thing is reduce total hits incurred by the Soviets in the combat by 1. That's very nice. Was that the one that I added? See, Tank Brigade, and 2. This adds armor to the Soviet units. In the combat, they do not already possess armor. I think all my guys possess. Yeah, they all possess armor. Reduce total hits incurred by 1. I think that was the one that I added. Let me check. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one I add, the tank or the rifle. They both will reduce the hits the attackers take by 1 and add some bonuses, but it really doesn't matter. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference unless I was 1 off from being 6 to 1. Was I there? Oh, this one was. This one was 1 off. So that one's now 6 to 1. But I don't think that bumps that up to 18. I think that bumps that up to 17. Yeah, because that would be 15. 15, that goes to 17. That will be 17. So this bottom attack, right now, that one's still 5 to 1, but this one's now 6 to 1. So 6 to 1 and then 5 to 1. So yeah, that'll be 6 to 1. That'll be 5 to 1. And a whole lot of friggin' chits to draw. I got to figure that out. There's going to be a lot of chits. And if I understand this correctly, they don't get to draw combat tactics themselves. The Germans don't, because they are isolated. All right? Because of these guys moving up, they are out of supply and isolated. So they do not qualify to get that. But I don't think I count them as isolated for the battle because I'm moving up and I'm putting them in isolation or surrounded. I have to check that. I know, like, to get combat tactics, you have to be in supply. These guys are no longer in supply. They are definitely not in supply because, zone of control, all around over here. That's got them pinned in. So they are not in supply. They cannot get that. So yeah, I don't think I would throw a out of supply marker on them because we're not in the supply phase itself specifically. That happens before, the card play phase. But I do not believe they get tactics since they're cut off now and unable to trace a line of supply, which is a requirement to be able to play tactics for them. All right, so how many are we drawing? We're drawing a bunch. Okay, so that's a 3-step unit. These are all 2s. They are just drawing 1. All right, so each one of them have a minimum of 2 because it's just 2 combat steps for the minimum. And he's a 3-step unit, so he's 2 chit draws. Make sure I'm counting this right. All right, 2 chit draws, 3 chit draws, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 for artillery. Because one of these is the card play. That's 3, so that's 4. Yeah, 4 tactics total. And then it's 4, it's 8. So that's 10 total. 2 minimum, 10 total for the top. All right, let's figure this out. There's so many chits to draw. All right, 2 minimum. He's going to have 10 total. Bunch of damn chits to be drawn. Where's the 10? There's a 10. All right, let's go ahead and figure our second one while we're at it, just to get it done with. Similar. That's 2 3-step units. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they're 2 and 9. So one is 2 and 10, one is 2 and 9. Damn, I had to think about that for a sec because there's so many damn chits to draw. All right, so yeah, we'll do our top one first, and then we'll do our little bottom one here because that might get us some chits that have to shuffle because we do have some combat chits already, a nice little stack that need to go back in the bowl that haven't gone in yet. So let me grab my bowl here. All right, let's move these cards out of the way and keep them over to the side so I know what tactics I have. And I'm probably just going to draw the max on all of them because we're getting ready to kick off anyway, so screw it. Let me do this slow because I do want to do the last bit of it at least correct. So if I draw the light blue, then I'll get it. All right, come on. Let's sit this down. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. We're going to grab out. Shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it. All right. Here is 1. And here is 2. All right, none of those are blue. And I have air power. Yes. Oh, and look at it. It's through, man. Start getting. All right, shut up, Gimpy. Yeah, we got to do this. How many more chits are we going to draw, Gimpy? We're going to draw all freaking 8. We're going to try to kill them. I don't care how many hits I take. We're killing them all. We're getting, let's see, yeah, 8 more here. And we're going to get 9 over there. But I'm willing to bet I'll get a light blue here somewhere. All right. Let's draw 1, 2, 3. Wait, how is that? Ooh, I got 2. So that'd be 5. And 6, 7. All right, so since this is that light blue one, that's the one I've been looking for. I'm gonna throw those others back in there. All right, so where am I at? I need 10 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Throw these back in and draw 1. And I will be good. Shuffle those back in. And 1. Okay, here we go. All right, they're both in. Okay, they're both in clear terrain. All right, so we know we got 2 against them because I got air power. What is this? Dispersed, unsupplied. They are unsupplied. Defender adjacent. There is no defender adjacent. Well, no, they do have a defender adjacent, but this is the priority side. So we'll go with that side. City. No, it's nothing. Yeah, that's not going to matter. Oh, wait, they're unsupplied. So that's going to count. Wood's broken. No. Dispersed, unsupplied. Yes. Soviet air power. Yep. And that's priority side, so that's going to count. Oh, they are just so dead. City or attack not supported. Attack is supported. Clear. We're both eating 1, so that counts. City or attack not supported. No, it's not city. Attack isn't unsupported. So it's not that. So we've got 1 that actually doesn't count. It is greater than 4 to 1. It's a 6 to 1. So it's going to be that. Let's see. Greater than 2 to 1. Yes. So it's going to be that one because it's not less than 2 to 1. And it's a flank attack. Yay. Okay. I do believe the dead. They were like dead. Way over here. But I think I've got 2 -1s. And that's 1, 2, 3. I got 3 A1s, 2 -1s. and I get a -1 from the tactics. So that blanks it as far as I'm concerned. And they're just dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. Yeah, I'd say he's dead. We'll put them in the eliminated box. Actually, no, he goes in the destroyed box because they were cut off. They could not get away because of those troops being there. So these guys would actually go destroyed instead. All right, and to save myself just a wee bit of time, I know I'm going to go ahead and do the maximum. So I'm just going to draw up the 9 total chits and just draw it. Just be done with it. So we can make this just a little bit quicker. So shuffle these around. There we go. All right, start drawing. Draw our first 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 9. All right, here we go. Do believe that is 9 shits. Let's see. No, we're not greater than 6 to 1 because this is the lower one. We're greater than 5 to 1. So they'll take a single ding instead of 2. It is not a flank attack, unfortunately. The other one was. It's not a 1 hex attack, so that's not going to count. We do have artillery. There are unsupplied. Let's see. No defender adjacent. They are unsupplied. Not a 1 hex. Not a flank. Attack city. Nope. So that doesn't count. And city or attack not supported. Nope. Town woods broken. Nope. Soviet air power. Yes. Unsupplied. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Ting, ting, ting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And with the retreat, we definitely got them. Those last couple attacks went pretty well. And another one is destroyed because they are cut off. And I'm going to throw our little chits over here out the way. All right, let's... how do we want to move up? Definitely want to kind of consolidate down after the attack to get out of some of these zones of control over there. Probably end up having to sacrifice that unit, but I want to have all these groups together. And if he's a tank, they could both advance up to 2, and he could come forward as such. Yeah, that'll work. Boom, boom, boom. That way they're kind of creating a front so they can push around. Got that one unit over there I really can't do much with because I can't pull him out of the zones of control because there's zone here is here. All these units are doing it. So the first guards and this little bit of pop-off are kind of stuck. But at least this way it'll give me a chance to kind of bring this set of pop-off up and maybe take that victory point hex. Or at least that would be my idea. All right, before we finish up with the video, I want to talk about a couple other key aspects of the game. And one of the things that I like is definitely this little player aid here. These are the cards that I've got left. And I would draw these up after my impulse to add to my hand. So this would be my last hand of cards. The rest of the cards are the ones that I have played, but you see how you divide these out as you're discarding them. Your primary cards are always going to go into that stack. Your supplemental cards are going to go into this stack right here. So you see all of these are primaries. So each one of your turns, as you go along through the game, you're always going to have these cards, but you're not guaranteed these cards. As you play them, they're going to go into this discard. And then you see I have some cards left here. These were the ones at the beginning of the game when we shuffled up and randomly drew some cards that were left over. Say, you see it says here, available supplemental cards. So on our next turn, shows the little arrow 2 pointing down. These are going to go into that draw pile, but you see how there's an arrow here pointing down as well. So these primary cards are going to get added to that, and that's going to be our draw pile for the next turn. But it's not just that. Don't forget that we do have those GT3, GT2, game turn 2, game turn 3 cards that are going to get added as well. So on the second turn of the game, those GT2s are going to go up. They're going to be considered as available supplemental cards, and they'll get added in as well. And they'll be part of your draw deck. So your draw deck is never going to be the same. No matter how many times you play this game, it's not going to be the same. You'll have certain turns where you'll know I'll have these cards. Like turn 2, you're going to have these cards. Turn 3, you're going to have these cards. You'll always have your primary cards. But as you play through the game, the order in which you get those supplementary cards are going to vary. It's going to vary based on which ones you've drawn and played throughout the course of the game. So you can kind of have an idea, but you're never going to know exactly what's going to happen. And especially with the German play cards, because remember, they're operating off the similar hand of cards, the AI is. You never know what the Germans have, because that gets just shuffled up anyway. So honestly, after getting to have some time with it, to sit down with it, to play the game, to really go into it, I think it takes precedence now over Enemy Action Ardennes. And Enemy Action Ardennes was one of my favorite solitaire games, especially based off of this chit pull mechanic when it came to combat. Now, some people hate that. They like dice. They like combat results tables. But to me, this is a almost never-ending die because it can account for so many different things. Whether or not you have air power or combined arms or artillery, or whether or not you've made good choices. Have you made good choices in your combat? Or is this a Hail Mary and a hope that you might be able to get a good draw and get that lucky 1 out of 60 chit that's going to save your ass, I just don't think that combat results tables can provide that type of nuance that this chit draw mechanic does when it comes to the combat in this game. I mean, there's only so much that a +1 modifier here, a -2 modifier there can really do for a game versus something like this where you have just this big mound of chits that you draw that is always going to vary. It's always going to be random. You never know when you're going to draw the blue, the barely blue, the very hard to see blue chit out of the cup, and it's going to reset the draw cup for you. There's just so much variability in this game. And that's what you need for a game like this to do well. Solitaire games need that random factor. They need replayability. They need it to feel almost puzzle-like, that you're trying to puzzle out the best choices you can make, and you're always putting out this little fire here, this little fire there. Or, let's pull this out of the way and kind of show you guys. Like over here, I was doing pretty well. I knocked back the purple forces and I created this gap. All right, now I can kind of exploit it and start pushing on towards Kharkov. But over here on the left, I'm not doing too well. They've been reinforced a couple of different times. They have swarms of units. And if I start trying to push that way, well, then they can push in this way and they can cut me off at my knees. But again, I could play the game the next time and do well at combat here and do bad at combat over here, or any number of different things. It's always going to play different. I just think that games by Butterfield have a different feel to them, and I really think he's got his finger on the pulse of what it takes to make a good solitaire game. Things like D-Day at Omaha or Enemy Action Ardennes, Enemy Action Kharkov, the way the game plays, even that first turn, it's never going to be the same from game to game. and it'll always give you that good solitaire experience, not one in which you feel like, yeah, it's solitaire, but I'm really kind of making the choices, right? Plenty of us have played games like that where it's solitaire, but you're kind of making the ultimate judgment call on what the bad guys are doing, what the other side is doing. And in this, you're not making those choices. The AI is making the choices of what is going to happen. It actually really is, in that sense, a solitaire game that plays like one. Anyway, I know it's no surprise that I highly recommend Enemy Action Kharkov. I mean, that should have been known from moment one. I've talked up Ardennes plenty. But I will add to this that if you've liked Ardennes, Kharkov, I think, is the nice step up because it is more streamlined. It's easier to get to the table. Yes, barring the one big goofy mistake that I made as far as the card play was concerned, but the game is still much more streamlined, in my opinion, than Ardennes was. And I think it's that he took what was good about Ardennes and then crafted it into a better game with Kharkov. I'm excited to see what he does with Enemy Action 3, right? Because if he has stepped up to this level on the second version of the game, I could only imagine how good the third version will end up ultimately being. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick little playthrough and example of play of Enemy Action Kharkov. You all stay tuned. I will have some carrier stuff coming up soon for you all. Really looking forward to trying that new revamp of carrier battles out and seeing how good it is. If it's anywhere near as good as Enemy Action Kharkov, I am expecting good things. All right, that's going to be it for me. You guys take care. I will catch you in the next one.